let us look at types of AI, right? Let us look at types of AI because when we say AI, it's essentially a very broad topic. There's so much we have to dig into. So there are three types of AI. The first one is narrow AI, the one that is mostly popular and it is where we are. The second one is general AI, and the third one is super strong. So let's dive into them. So narrow AI is essentially AI that is made to perform a single task better, right? So a good example would be, you see, if you use, how I'm pretty sure all of us here are using, you know, probably own a smartphone one way or another. Everybody's owning a smartphone, right? So in that sense, if your smartphone is able to tell you the weather tomorrow, right? It's only good at predicting the weather. It's not good at anything else. Ask it anything else, it doesn't know. It doesn't really know, right? Same case to advertisements. When we go to Instagram and we spend a little more time looking at a certain bag or a certain image, well, guess what? We get more of the same images or the same content all together. Why? There is an AI existing made by Facebook that is pretty good at showing you things that you lack, the interest that you like. Its only job is to know your interest, and that's about it. And that's why so many of the SMEs um, are using Facebook as a way of advertisement. They know that once they're able to upload this and sign up on Facebook with a business, with a business account, they're able to advertise on Instagram, they're able to advertise on the same Facebook, right? So AI, narrow AI is essentially just an AI that is made to perform and is very good at performing a single task better. So if it's recognizing images, very good at doing that. Can't do anything else other than that. If it's recognizing voice, it is very good at that. Nothing else, right? So it only does one task well, and it's also mostly predefined. And we're going to speak about this a little more. So it's because it is very narrow and very specific with this task, we tend to give it data that is specific to its task. If we want something to recognize, if this is the true owner of the phone, when we use image recognition to, open our smartphones as a form of security, we want to know if it's you or someone else, right? So we only show we've made it really good at knowing you because we've showed it a couple of images of you, right? So that is narrow AI. And this is probably the most useful AI and the only one that exists. So let's move to the general AI. General AI is like step two, yeah? AI 2.0, where we've gotten the technology at a human intelligence level, right? The machine, the computer is able to think like a human being, act like a human being, and apply knowledge the same level as a human being, right? So we've made it to a level where it's essentially another artificial human being, right? So now that we think of this, it's actually not feasible yet, right? Some people are trying this, but the limitation of this is like humans are still struggling to understand our own intelligence. We don't know how much our brains can produce. We've made skyscrapers, we've made cars, we've made complex systems, war systems. We've come up with different social things. We've come up with democracy and capitalism and communism. We have all these things that we've come up from our minds, right? But we still do not know the limit. What is the limit of the human intelligence? We don't know that, right? So if we cannot know that as human beings, then we can't create a system that is even close to our human level of intelligence. And that's why general AI does not exist. A machine that thinks, acts, and applies knowledge at the same level as a human being does not exist. So the third one is the super or the strong AI, another dystopian view of the world where we think that AI is now more self-aware and it surpasses human intelligence. It's where we say the human being, the machine has grown a conscience the same way as a human being, right? That means it's a machine is able to emote, it's able to have emotions the same way as we have, right? And it's able to hold beliefs. And good luck or bad luck if they they evoke emotions against human beings or have beliefs against human beings and say, you guys, you created us in the lab, you probably overwork us, but we're smarter than you, so why should we why should you guys be doing this to us? We can flip the switch, right? So that is not possible yet because we haven't even passed the first fruit, which is getting a machine that is close to human level. So you might as well just breathe and know that these things don't exist. Strong and general AI do not exist, as much as you'll have a lot of pop and sherry in the media about all this. You will only see the Terminator in a movie. You won't walk down the street and hear of a Terminator in any way.